Hello people, I'm doing this video just to give you guys some insight on what to expect in Bratislava. So basically I'm just doing a first impression video, and I'll talk you guys through what I've seen since I came here, and just to let you know how I feel about Bratislava in general. So what I first noticed when I came here was Bratislava is very clean. It's a very clean city. It does look like they do a lot of work in terms of keeping everything up to standard. I've not seen any part of Bratislava that I could class as dirty. Also, they do have good infrastructure. What I did notice is there's a lot of graffiti, but I think that's a Central Europe thing. So that was similar to what I saw. I mean, it is similar to what I saw in Warsaw as well. So I think in terms of the graffiti, that's across the board in Central Europe. Also, in terms of infrastructure, it's similar across the board as well, because Slovakia is part of Schengen and is part of the EU, and in terms of standards, all countries within Schengen have the same type of infrastructure, and they have to keep to the same guidelines and policies. So the infrastructure is quite good and is up to standard in terms of European standard. Let me just take you guys around this area to show you some of the graffiti. It's quite interesting. So I've seen some graffiti in English and I've seen some in the local language as well. So I'm just going to show you guys some that I've seen. So that's one, gym, but HVR, I don't know what that means. So you'll see a lot of graffiti around Bratislava, and I don't think they are trying to clean it up though, because you can see this across the city, and some of them look like they've been there for a long time. So I don't think they're looking to clear it out anytime soon. So you can see that on the other side as well. Okay, so we've spoken about how clean Bratislava is. We've spoken about graffiti. We've spoken about infrastructure. Let's talk about transport. So Bratislava is similar to any metropolitan city. It does have good transportation systems in place. They do have a tram. I'm sure you guys have heard this already in previous videos. So they do have a good tram system, and also they do have options as well, like buses. I've not seen a lot of buses though. I've mostly seen trams. It might just be where my hotel is. They don't have a lot of bus connections there. But so far I've only seen trams, and obviously there's Uber and there is Bolt. One thing I noticed today is the Bolt drivers also drive Ubers as well. So I went to the biggest shopping center in Bratislava today, and because it was raining, I took a taxi, and I ordered an Uber and not a Bolt. I know they do operate both in Bratislava, but I was actually after an Uber. So I ordered my Uber, and my Uber came, and on the Uber's car, it had Bolt written on it. So I asked him, I said, how come you're an Uber driver and you have Bolt written on your car? And he said in Bratislava, Bolt is the most popular taxi service. However, a lot of customers use Uber because it's a cheaper option. Okay, so in terms of price of Uber and Bolt, I would say it depends on where you're going to. So if you're going to certain places, I think for journeys that are far, Bolt is cheaper. But for short journeys, Uber is cheaper. So today when I was going to the shopping mall, like I said, I took an Uber because it was much more cheaper because it's a short journey. But if I was going to, let's say, the airport or somewhere further, then Bolt is better. Oh, it looks like they're about to have a road rage here. But yeah, so that's what I was told today. So obviously you now know that the transport system is good. The next thing is food. Yes, food. Unfortunately, I've not tried Slovakian food since I came. Obviously the plan is to try Slovakian food later on. But so far so good. I've had a meal or two, and the prices are reasonable, I would say. So food wise, the prices are reasonable. They do have a significant amount of Slovakian restaurants around. I'll go to one of them either today or maybe Monday, because I'll be in Austria tomorrow. So I wouldn't have the opportunity to obviously go to one tomorrow because I'll be back from Austria really late. But so far so good. The food is cheap, the food is tasty, and they've got a number of Slovakian restaurants that I've not been to. So when I mean the food is good and tasty, I'm talking of other types of food they sell here. So let's be clear, because I've not tried Slovakian food. But from what I've heard, Slovakian food is really good, and I'm looking forward to trying it as well. So let's talk about the weather. How's the weather like in Slovakia? The weather is really shady, I would say. So today, obviously, I expected it to rain all through because that's what the forecast said. However, it did rain for about, I think it rained for like 3 hours and it stopped. So I would say the weather is similar to that of the UK. It's a bit unpredictable, which is good though, because when I saw the forecast today, in my head I'm thinking, there's no way I can actually record today. So I might need to go to a neighboring country. But God willing, everything worked out well, and I don't have to go to a neighboring country to record today. Because I was actually thinking of going to either Czech Republic or Hungary, because obviously I'm going to Austria tomorrow. But I didn't need to anyway, because the rain luckily stopped. So that's a good thing for me. Just to let you know anyway, in terms of language, a lot of young Slovakians can actually speak English. So English is not a problem in Slovakia. You see the odd ones that don't speak English. That's not a problem anyway. They still try to understand what you're saying, and they might call somebody to interpret what you're saying. In terms of social interaction, in terms of how people view ethnic minorities, in terms of how helpful people are, Slovakians are very, very helpful. When they see that you're stuck, they come to your aid. They might ask you, oh, do you need help? Even though they don't understand what you're saying, they will still try to figure out a way of helping. People here are very laid back. They are chilled out. Even though it's the actual capital city of Slovakia, people are not tense like you'd see in other big cities or other capital cities. So in terms of that, I would rate Slovakia or Bratislava, I would say an 8 out of 10. Which is a good rating actually. I don't think any capital city would ever get a rating of 10 out of 10 because in terms of social interaction, it's so difficult for people to have your time in a busy city. So I find it difficult to think that any capital city would get a significant rating in terms of engagement and in terms of how they try to support tourists and help tourists out. Obviously, in most capital cities, they do have like tourist centers you can go to ask for help, but that's a bit impractical anyway, and it's really difficult to do. Okay guys, so I'm going to have to end it here. This video was to obviously give you my first impression of Bratislava. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. If you want to comment, feel free to comment. I would love all the Slovaks to comment as well. It will be good to know what you think. I'm going to have to end it like I said, and I'll see you in my next video. Thank you.